They were a great asset for the Steelers. New stars are on the way. Subscribe and find out the latest news. The 2025 NFL Scouting Combine kicks off Thursday. As is the case every year, there will be major risers and fallers after the Combine. So, before the Combine gets started, now is a good time for a temperature check based on what we currently know. The Pittsburgh Steelers will be closely watching the defensive linemen, cornerbacks, wide receivers, and running backs at the Combine. This Steelers 3-round mock draft sees the team address 3 of those 4 positions, which are by far their biggest needs. Steelers 3-round mock draft pre-combine. Round 1, pick 21, Kenneth Grant, DT, Michigan. While defensive tackle isn't the Steelers' most pressing need for the 2025 season, it is a huge need looking to the future. Future Hall of Famer Cameron Hayward turns 36 this offseason and won't be playing much longer. Grant won't be a replacement for Hayward, as the Michigan product projects as a true nose tackle in the NFL. But having Grant anchor the middle of the defensive line while promising young defender Keanu Benton moves out to defensive end could be a dominant setup for years to come. In Grant, Pittsburgh would be getting a player who is ready to contribute against the run right away as a rookie. At 6'5" and 340 pounds, Grant has all the size in the world. He pairs it with quick feet, elite athleticism, and high-level play strength. In the AFC North, it's always good to have a player of Grant's caliber to help stop the run. While he isn't much of a pass rusher yet, Grant has the size, quickness, and athletic potential to become a productive pass rusher. Drafting Grant would give the Steelers a day one contributor with the upside to be a franchise defender in the future. Other players considered: Ohio State WR Emeka Egbuka, Ole Miss DT Walter Nolan, Texas WR Matthew Golden, East Carolina CB Siobhan Revel, Oregon DT Derek Harmon. Round 2, pick 52, Alec Iomanor, WR, Stanford. Addressing arguably their biggest need for the 2025 season, the Steelers should be all over Stanford's Alec Iomanor if he is available in the second round, as he was in this mock draft. Iomanor stands 6'2" and weighs 210 pounds, which is a great frame for an NFL receiver. And he knows how to put his size to use, as he plays physically and is very productive in contested catch situations. Iomanor doesn't have the expansive route tree or route running abilities the Steelers might be looking for in their number 2 wide receiver. He isn't a bad route runner, but it's the most obvious area of his game where he needs some refinement. Still, he would be a fun player to pair with George Pickens. Both can win contested catches deep down the field, and Iomanor can also contribute underneath and in YAC situations. Iomanor has the potential to be a star in the future but is also ready to produce as a rookie. Other players considered: Iowa RB Caleb Johnson, Florida State CB Azariah H. Thomas, South Carolina DT TJ Sanders, Iowa State WR Jaden Higgins, Kentucky CB Maxwell Hairston. Round 3, pick 83, Denzel Burke, CB, Ohio State. Given the 2025 class being a down year for cornerbacks, Pittsburgh should look to add a starting caliber corner in free agency. Even if they do that, the Steelers should still draft a defensive back relatively early, as they do in this mock draft with Ohio State's Denzel Burke. It's easy to envision Burke sliding into Pittsburgh's man-heavy defense. He has the height, length, and press coverage abilities to develop into a top cornerback. Burke can win at the line of scrimmage against quality opposition, as he showed during his time at Ohio State. However, he will need to get much better off the ball and in zone coverage to be a consistent NFL starter. If the Steelers plan to draft a cornerback who can start right away, they will need to do it earlier in the draft. But if they sign a veteran starter and elect to draft a rookie who they can develop over time, Burke would be a good pick. Other players considered: TCU WR Jack Beck, Ohio State QB Will Howard, Kentucky DT Deone Walker, Virginia Tech RB Bashal Tutin. While the Steelers don't select a running back in this mock draft, they would be happy with this haul. They land a nose tackle with a very high ceiling, a wide receiver who can contribute right away, and a cornerback who has the tools to develop into a quality NFL starter. Of course, their moves in free agency could alter which of these positions they prioritize in the draft, so these expectations will change over the next 2 months. The Steelers' draft priorities could still change depending on their moves in free agency, but their early round selections will be crucial in shaping the team's future. Will they prioritize immediate impact players or look to develop long-term cornerstones? The coming weeks will provide a clearer picture as Pittsburgh refines its blueprint for success in 2025 and beyond.